Hi guys and girls, Rose Burnett here, Mind, Body, Soul Balance, and today in the Daily Inspiration we're talking about how to do your own personal readings for yourself, and it's something that I do for myself all the time. It joyfully lights me up in terms of kind of sets my day, yeah, and it's one of those things in terms of, and it's all about not only your own energy but the decks that you use in terms of the guidance that comes through. It's one of those things that I find is very inspirational. It can move you out of any kind of stuck state. It helps to bring hope and happiness into your life. It can also reflect back to you exactly what's going on with you in terms of your emotions and things that you need to face. It can also give you predictions on what's coming towards you. The universe is always watching your back, yeah. And I tend to use, you would have, so if you're watching my channel, no doubt you've seen some of my readings. If not, go check them out, yeah, for your star sign. But I use a lot of different decks, and a lot of them in terms of how I'm drawn to them is that not only do I read the tarot, I'm also a transformational coach. I'm an energy healer, right? So a lot of what I do in terms of sharing a message with you is that it can be deeply healing and transformative. It's also predictive. The tarot is always predictive, yeah. It's always connecting into spirit, so that your spirit guides and the angels and beings of light that are surrounding us all, yeah, in part of our universal energy, are also providing guidance through the tarot and the oracle. But you've got to tap into that energy. I guess, this question got raised by, I think it was Natalie on my Instagram page. So follow me on Instagram if you don't follow me on Instagram. I did promise a couple of weeks back that I would put this video out. I actually decided to re-record it, yeah, because there's some extra things that I wanted to include. So shout out to Natalie for asking the question. If you've got any questions you want answered in the Daily Inspiration, and you would have noticed that I started off doing them daily, but I've been through a bit of a health challenge, and so it's just whenever I've got the time and the energy to fit them in, yeah, with everything else I'm doing. So you will get surprised every now and again with some daily inspiration and motivation. But thank you, Natalie, for bringing this question up. So yeah, if you've got any questions, pop them below. And now the questions are not about, can I answer a question for you that requires a personal tarot reading? Not what the daily inspiration is about. It's things that you might want to know about your health and well-being, fitness, transformational coaching, mindset coaching, how to tackle certain problems, yeah, all that kind of stuff, mindfulness, spirituality, all that kind of stuff. All right, so in terms of how do you personally start if you've never read cards for yourself, and I often will, it's a beautiful practice. Anyone can do it, so don't ever think that you can't do it for yourself. And often what will happen is when you read your own cards, they're going to be attuned directly to your energy. So those messages are going to be directly for you. And you can feel a little bit, I guess, not confused, but perhaps hold yourself back a bit, perhaps a little embarrassed to buy tarot cards or oracle cards or even start that practice because you're always worried about what other people are going to think about you. I know when I initially started, I had those kind of feelings. Even like, the people in your household that you share with, you think, oh, I think I'm a little bit weird. And you kind of got to overcome that. You can even just do it in the privacy of when you're by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, yeah. It's often when I do them because I love to have quietness around me, yeah, and I like to connect into the energy around me. So yeah, I always like that solitude to do a reading for myself and get those very personal messages for self. And I have to be honest with you, they're usually absolutely spot on. So I guess the first step is in terms, and I want to talk to you about energy, because energy is super important. And if you're somebody that's watching this and you want to do your own readings for other people, that's a whole nother layer, yeah. Because in that instance, you really need to be of a high vibration yourself. You need to have cleaned up a lot of your own emotional stuff. Ideally, have done some sort of either psychic development courses or some sort of energy healing, natural therapies of some sort to raise your own vibration and expertise, tap into your past life information, all that kind of stuff, yeah, before you start doing readings for other people. You'll also have that sense of confidence that the messages that you are putting out and sharing are very accurate for people, yeah, and are helpful and useful and done of the highest vibration and also with love, yeah. So in terms of doing them for yourself, never worry about holding yourself back. It's also about experimentation. Just had a beautiful butterfly fly past. It's all about new beginnings and transformation. Yeah, got a big window in front of me. But what I was trying to say is that everything's a learning process, and you're never going to master it straight off, and you've got to overcome the feelings that you need to be perfect or you need to know what you're doing. It's really just about giving it a go. And in terms of picking your own decks, that will be absolutely personal to your own energy. It can change over time depending on how you're feeling on a certain day. When, I often like to, instead of, I've occasionally brought them online, but I actually like to walk into like a crystal shop or there's one where I am. It's got just the most amazing array of tarot decks I've ever seen in my life. So I'm always in there for quite a while. Sometimes I'll come out with nothing because nothing resonates with me. Yeah, that can be my energy, or it can just be there's nothing there that's of a vibration that attracts me, because my messages are often not for myself, they're for you. Yeah, so it's a bit of a mixture of, it's got to meet my energy, my vibration, but it's also got to be something that's going to connect with you as an audience and what's going to help you on your path. So for me, it's kind of double fold in terms of how I select my tarot cards. But how I selected them initially, certainly they're absolutely decks that spoke to me, and they've always been the most perfect decks for me. I think I've only ever had one deck that I've struggled with to get answers from, and now it's working for me, and I had to tune into that energy, but initially it wasn't. It was just flying random things out. And I was like, doesn't feel right. Yeah, so you will. And if you get a deck like that, sometimes it's recognizing it and going, that's not actually going to work for me that well. It happens very rarely, yeah. It's always about trusting your own heart space, your soul light, your intuition when you select a deck. In terms of energy vibration, if I can share anything with you in terms of how do you get an accurate reading, it's about making sure that you're in the highest vibration. Now, as a transformational coach, I'm a mind, body, soul balance coach, right? So I'm very much into you're an integrated package. What does that mean? Well, your health and your well-being should be your highest priority. In order to have a very high vibration, particularly working with any kind of spiritual, this is a spiritual medium, you're connecting into spirit, yeah, but you're also connecting into your own soul light, your own inner child, your past life information. It's that vehicle, it's it's just a medium in which to open yourself up and allow messages from spirit to come to you. To do that, it's a practice of, and to get it really accurate, it's a practice of constantly raising your vibration. So what do I mean by that? Well, we have chakras, we have chi energy, we have our connection to universal source energy, we have our connection to Mother Earth Gaia. Yeah, it's all connected. Our physical health and well-being. If you're not in a high vibration physically, I have my own diet and fitness program. So if you're overweight, you're sluggish, you're not exercising, that's going to affect your vibration. Yeah, you're going to be sluggish. Yeah. It's about working on your optimum health and well-being, eating healthy, nutritious foods of high antioxidants. Yeah, that's really about nurturing your body. And there's no judgment about being overweight. I've had times in my life I've been overweight too. Yeah, but it's about just explaining to you about high vibration. It works not only on the physical level, it also works on the emotional level. And, I think it can be very therapeutic to listen to messages coming through from tarot, particularly from other tarot readers, as well as doing your own. And there's lots of other practices too that can help raise your vibration. It's about coming into that place of stillness. Guided meditations, I cannot recommend them to you enough. They will absolutely raise your chi energy, clear out your chakras, rebalance your chakras. It's a continual practice. Getting out in nature is going to raise your chi energy. It's going to help you balance and ground your energies, particularly emotional, mental thought processes, particularly if you're somebody that your mind never stops talking to you, yeah? About coming into that place of stillness. It also allows you, those practices, even things like Zen yoga, yeah, anything to do with the chi energy, Zen yoga, those kind of practices that are going to bring you more into your body and out of your mind, yeah, and ground your energies. They're all going to raise your vibration. Being out in nature is the perfect medium. You've got an instant and open channel to spirit as well as to nature. You may be somebody that soul light is a nature spirit versus up in the angelic realm in terms of, angel wings, right? You may be more grounded with your spirituality to earth. All your soul lights come from all different places. It's fascinating, it really is. But it's about how can you get connected into that, and it is a practice. It takes a while, yeah. And the more that you get into your own spiritual practices and find things that joyfully light you up, Things like sound therapy is amazing. All those kind of things will help raise your vibration. And when you tapped into that space and you regularly tap into that space, is when you're going to get a lot more accurate messages and connection with spirit. Yeah, even just doing a little course on how to or there's even meditations in the guided playlist on how to connect with your spirit guides if you've never connected with your spirit guides. Yeah, sometimes they'll come through immediately and sometimes they won't. If they don't, often it means you need to clear your chakras out. They might be blocked with all sorts of emotional stuff and trauma and life experiences that you need to clear out, attachments that you need to clear out. Yeah. And this is all about vibration and energy. And I guess if you're sitting there wondering why am I explaining this to you, is because often what comes up is when I say to people, it'd be great, because I work with clients all around the world, you know what, it would be great if you started doing some of your own, because it's that beautiful practice and it gives you so much beautiful inspiration every day. And what comes back is often, well, how do I trust my own messages? And I don't think they're coming through as accurate, and that's about your vibration. And you also do have to start trusting your intuition and learning to trust your own intuition. You also have to decipher between the messages that come out. Is it my ego talking? Is it something I want to put out there? I'm just making it up. Or is it actually a message from spirit? And the more you practice it and the more you give it a go and experiment, you'll start to soon learn and see and recognize what is directly from spirit. Yeah, often spirit will be tapped into you if it comes out, and even if it's negative things that are coming out the cards, it's often a true reflection of your emotional state at that time or your physical and mental well-being. And you can go, oh yeah, that's exactly what's happening for me right now. But what you want to do with that is go, okay, so let's pull some cards on how I overcome that. And that is spirit talking to you. Yeah, absolutely. So how do you pick your decks? Well, often, often, and usually, you'll go in, you can only see the front cover and you can see the back, and you might be able to read a bit about it. You can see some of the cards that are on the back. I always go by gut instinct and intuition. I also read it and go, is that going to resonate with me? Is that going to resonate with what I want to use the cards for? Yeah. And then just pick what lights you want. When you get your deck, and I'll show you, this is a deck I got recently. Which is the Precious Gems one. And I've been eyeing this one off for a while. It's got these beautiful images on here. Yeah, it's all to do with crystals. But what you'll find is when you get them, they'll have a bit of plastic wrapped around them. I know this sounds basic, right? But you actually need to separate all the cards. So do that with them, yeah, quite a few times. And you want to pull them out one by one and separate them, because it'll take a little while, a few goes, before they'll actually separate and mix in, yeah, so that you can actually get the cards to pop out in terms of what's going to shuffle out for you. Now, and also you want to put your own energy in them, so you can hold them in your always hold them in your left hand. Even if you've got a crystal, you want to hold it in your left hand. Yeah, I'll hold this up and just put your energy on. You can put a crystal on top. Let me grab a big one. It's one of my favourites. Yeah, big clear quartz crystal, and just meditate. And for me, I often, because I'm connected into the Akashic records, I often, with my soul light, is I literally push my energy right through the deck in terms of all my past lives as well. That's the transference of energy, yeah, but also fine spiritual knowledge, yeah. Just do that. And when you go to use it, every time you go to use it, you want to tap it and knock it, yeah, with your hand to clear the energy out of it. And in terms of doing a reading, so literally, as I mentioned, with any, don't be afraid of which decks you select. Try a couple. Yeah, don't ever just do one deck to start with. Try a couple. Is before I ever start a reading, and everybody might be a little bit different, but you want to call spirit in. You want to connect into spirit, right? Because otherwise they're not with you. You're drawing on your own energy, and you do not want to draw on your own energy. Even as an energy healer, when you do that, you deplete yourself. You deplete your own energy, your soul light, your chi energy. So it's always very important to connect into spirit so you're not drawing out of your own energy. Plus the messages will be accurate and straight from spirit, yeah. I'll probably put an image up here. I'll see how I go. I have all my crystals out. I have candles burning. I have incense burning. I've got lots of abalone shells. All my decks, when I select certain decks, depending on how I feel at the time, even if it's for myself, what kind of guidance do I need? I have some deeply healing decks, but I also have ones that I use all the time that are my go-tos for every day guide me in terms of what's going to come out, yeah, in terms of what I need to know going forward. So I have a bit of a mixture, and I often will change them, yeah. And I'll put crystals on every deck to amp them up. And the crystals that I put on there are usually very high vibration crystals, yeah, things like, and it's up to you, whatever resonates with you. You don't have to if you don't want to. Clear quartz often will give you just such a, if there's a particular deck you want a specific message out of, put clear quartz on it, yeah, crystal quartz. I use citrine for abundance. I use, I'll show you some as I go, yeah. Yeah, love it. Wand, big wand of citrine. That's for abundance and success. I love this one, which is just gorgeous. Yeah, it's ametrine, which is a mixture of amethyst and citrine. This one here, which is beautiful, which is fluorite, which is all for your third eye chakra. Yeah, it's very much about connecting into your higher states of consciousness. But lots and lots of crystals, all different ones. It depends, and I'll often change them too, depending on how my energy feels. I'm reading for clients, that crystals will definitely change depending on the energy I've tapped into and connected with of a client, yeah. But let's pull it back to you. So how do you do a reading for yourself? So you've got your cards, you've got everything set up. So in order to call spirit in, often what will happen is I'll do, you know how you go into a meditative pose with your yoga, feet both on the ground because you want to ground your energy, yeah, so feet flat on the floor. And I just connect into my spirit guides, and you know I've done a lot of my own spiritual work. So for me, in terms of spirit guides, I'm open to the whole universe. Yeah, divine collective consciousness, civilizations beyond the civilizations. I do a lot of energy healing work. So I'm very much connected into very ancient healers. The shamans occasionally come in for me, not very often. It's more about very ancient healers. So yeah, I'll call them all in, yeah, to help with the guidance, particularly the guidance I do for YouTube. Yeah, call them all in. I also have my own specific spirit guides as well as the archangels. And yeah, and when I connect into doing readings for clients, their spirit guides will come in, and they'll often give me a message for them. I can see them, yeah. But it takes a little while to connect into your spirit guides, so don't kind of overthink that. You can just go, you know, I want to call in, if you're not even connected in with your spirit guides yet, is, you know, the angels and unconditional beings of light watching over me at this time. Just as simple as that. You can call God in, whoever you want, yeah. And I basically, and I do it in my head, I don't speak it out loud, and I basically ask them for the guidance that I'm seeking at that time, and the things that I may want to draw to me, yeah, and then I'll start reading, yeah, so you've got spirit connected. I can find I'm sitting in front of a big window, yeah, the sun will come out, all the light changes in the room, so you know spirit's with you, but it's just about that heartfelt connection into spirit, yeah. So how do you do a reading for yourself? I guess I'm quite non-traditional. And what does that mean is that I trust my intuition, guide me. Initially, how I started is that, you know, don't discount the value of the books and the guides that come with the cards, because you need to familiarize yourself with your cards. The more you can do that and learn the meaning behind the cards, and then what happens once you learn the meanings is you put your own meaning on it and what they mean to you, yeah. So it's really about getting familiar with the cards and the meanings behind them. And at the front of each book, there'll be a layout. If you want to try some of the layouts of the cards that they suggest, try those, see if they work for you. That's just to familiarise yourself with working with the deck. I did that to begin with, and I didn't do readings for anyone. I didn't do readings for YouTube for a whole year, yeah, before I felt not confident enough, but the time was right for me. And then what happened is, and you'll all get your own unique way of reading cards for yourself and reading cards for others. And for me, it just naturally evolved. I started just getting familiar and comfortable with my decks, and then the layouts just change, and they change all the time. But I just had this fluid way of interconnecting multiple decks into a reading because it just felt right for me. And the messages will come out, yeah, in the right sequence. So I work with, how many have I got on my deck? I'll tell you how many I've got out right now for reading I did myself this morning. I'm going to count them because there's a lot, right? I've got 10 decks out, yeah, 10. So for me, I would always do an opening energy, And that opening energy is something very important that I need to know, even if it's for a client. And I put that opening energy. So, for example, if I just pulled a card out of this deck, let's pull a random one out. Wow, this is kind of cool. Zebra Jasper, engagement, which is kind of cool because I'm engaging with you, yeah, as an audience, yeah, as on my channel, kind of funny, yeah. Right next to good fortune, by the way. Hello. And so this will sit in the middle of my reading, yeah, and then I'll pull some cards around it, or I might sit it over to the side, but I always have an opening energy. I might have two opening energies. So I might get the Shaman's deck out, which is ancient wisdom, yeah, and have its opening energies. And then I'll pull a lot of general energies out. It might be I'll then layer love and romance over the top. And then at the end of my readings, I'll pull out specific guidance for me that are crowning energies that I know are super important message that's going to tap into whatever I'm going through at the time, even if it's for me or if it's for a client, yeah. So I've got a lot of higher depths in terms of, like, for example, I'll show you what I got here today. I got the Isis Oracle, yeah, because I needed some messages from Isis, ancient Egypt. It's my connection to ancient Egypt. They're a very deep healing and transformative deck, right? I've got the Rumi Oracle, which a lot of you would have seen. These are by Alana Fairchild, yeah, and they have the most soothing, not practical, they're mostly soothing, healing, messages of protection. They're so beautiful. And if you wonder why in my readings on YouTube, why I read those out at the end, is I could make something up about that card, or I could intuit what I felt about what that card was. But I just know that they will have a healing practice in them. You're going to get so much more benefit out of those type of cards by reading the message to yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Whereas there's others, like, for example, Energy Oracle, yeah, which is just a specific message, which when you connect it with other decks is going to guide you during your day or your week. Does that make sense? I hope it's helping. Like even the Goddess one that you see, very similar to the other one in terms of they'll just have a little specific message on the bottom. After you see that, bring closer. That one's just quiet time, yeah. It really is that short guidance for you, but it's about bringing all those messages together. You know, you can do the 9-card spread, which is past, present, and future. You can just lay decks out, which, you know, it's spread out that says the top row is the past, the middle one's the present, the bottom one's the future predictions, all those kinds of things. It's really about just experimenting and finding what works for you and giving it a go, yeah. And at the end of each reading, I always thank Spirit for their guidance, yeah. But it's very uplifting practice to do. I hope this helps. If you have any questions about what we just talked about, anything you think I've missed, pop it down below. I mean, there's lots more to it, but it's really about just trusting yourself and having a go. Anyone can do it. Don't think that you need to be somebody special. Anyone can do it. Obviously, the more, as I mentioned, that you tap into your own spirituality, your spirit guides, the universal source energy, you raise your own health and well-being and your vitality, your vibration, the more connected you are going to be into your divine gifts and talents, your spirit guides, your spirituality, your divine self, the more accurate it's going to be for you, yeah. It's an ongoing practice. It's not something you just arrive at in terms of that state of being. When people ask me, life goes like this, yeah? Life is like that. It's always going to throw stuff at you. It's your ability to come back into this place in the middle, even if life slams you with something, right? Even if it's emotional or it's deeply challenging. It's about the practices that you do on a daily basis. For me, it's a lot of physical exercise, getting out in nature, guided meditations when I feel like I need it. Doing things like this, which absolutely light me up, yeah. It's also stuff like connecting with your friendships, knowing you've got those support systems around you, that faith and belief in self-love. All of that will bring you back to here, yeah, which is high vibration, balance, emotional balance, yeah. Yeah, I hope it helps. I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful practice. Do not underestimate how valuable it can be in your life. Don't ever be embarrassed about it, shy about it. The more I talk about it, in fact, I'll give a shout out to a friend of mine, Natasha, who came over, not this weekend, last weekend, yeah. And she did something pretty special, pretty special. She rang me up on Friday night, just gone, and I'd spent a couple of hours with her and another girlfriend. And for me, it's always like, I work pretty hard during the week in terms of all the stuff I do for you guys and clients and all the rest of it. Yeah, so I was determined not to bring any decks out. But no, I'm just going to relax. We're going to have a cheese platter and a bottle of bubbly. We're going to share that, yeah. And we just started talking about stuff, and we started talking about spirituality. And I pulled this deck out. I didn't do readings for everyone. I just pulled a couple of cards for each of us, or one for each of us, yeah, and we read the messages, and then we just openly had this beautiful discussion about not being afraid of your spirituality, your divinity, and connecting into it. And I sent Natasha a couple of guided meditations to do that are deeply transformative, and she did do this most beautiful thing for me. She rang me on the Friday and she just thanked me for making such a difference to her world and just allowing her to open up. And honestly, Sunday she was just doing all sorts of things in terms of changing stuff in her life. And, I didn't do much except be open about spirituality and about that openness to yourself, yeah, and particularly around about self-love. We did talk about stuff in terms of, emotional healing and all that sort of thing. And I think the more that you can embrace that part of life, the more you can personally transform, the more you come to live in your highest potential, yeah, which is all about self-love, self-worth, knowing that you're worthy of all the great things in life, knowing that there is positivity and optimism out there, and that you are never alone. You are surrounded by the most amazing, beautiful, not only friendships and family, and sometimes our family let us down constantly, right? But your family can be your soul tribe, wherever your soul tribe is, whoever you connect to you is your soul tribe. As above, so below, as well as being present in the life that we're in now. You're always part angel, part human. Remember that, yeah. All right, lots of loves and hugs from me. I hope this helps today on your path. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you enjoy this, hit the subscribe button. You'll get more great content from me. I'll also put up, if you do want to get a personal reading with me, I'll pop the coupon code that's running for this month. Go check it out. I also work with clients around distance Reiki energy healing, deep karmic healing, as well as one-on-one coaching. All right, for now, much love, much light. Namaste.